What is up, everybody? My name is Samuel Higgs. I am the sports editor for the Dadeville Record and the Alexander City Outlook. I am here at Dadeville High School for Dadeville's home opener against Beulah. It is also a region opener, and similar to much of the teams that we have, or much of the action that we have going on in the county, it's just region play for everybody. So these are extremely important games. I think we all know that these are what'll make or break a playoff run for a team going forward. If I seem a little skittish, I don't know if you can see behind me, but they are currently doing punt returns, and I'm quite nervous that one of these punts is going to travel the distance and bonk me on the head. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But before I get into the game that I am currently at, which is here at Dadeville High School, we had a little bit of Thursday night football, and that was Stanhope taking on region opponent Percy Julian. And I don't know if you guys saw the final score, but it was the Mustangs game pretty much the entire way. I wouldn't even say pretty much. It was Stanhope's game from the get-go. Checking over the article that Anna Sophia, our sports reporter for the Herald and Tribune, wrote, Stanhope started the day with the safety. And funny enough, this is her fourth safety in the past 2 weeks. And I don't think that I have yet to see a safety at any of the games that I cover. So she's a bit lucky for that. But, I mean, after that safety and from that point on, it was all D. Barnes. D. Barnes finished the game with over 100 yards in the first half and scored 5 touchdowns. He scored 5 touchdowns against Percy Julian. And I think if we remember what Stanhope had going on last year with Arthur McQueen, I mean, we know that Stanhope prides itself on its ability to run the ball. And I mean, to go from a guy like Arthur McQueen to go to a guy like D. Barnes, who I believe is already in double-digit touchdown range, like it's just ridiculous. And I mean, for Stanhope to come out on it was Class 6A Region 2 opener, and to do it in that way, I thought one of the quotes that really stuck out to me came from Coach Adams. I mean, to win a game like that, you need to be playing well in all 3 phases of the game, and that's exactly what they did. Their kicker was money, their offense was money, and their defense put up a donut. So congrats to Stanhope for starting off region play with such a massive victory. But now we're going to go into another region game, which is the one that I'm currently at, and that is Dadeville-Beulah. Beulah is currently 1-1. Dadeville is 0-2. This is the Class 3A Region 4 opener. Beulah their lone win has come against Abbeville, where they just dominated. It was 42-14, but then last week lost to Lynette 37-7. Just kind of whenever I was combing through the stats as far as Beulah goes, the thing that really stuck out to me was Kamani Lindsay. That's their senior running back. Last year, I believe, was a 1,000-yard rusher for them, and then this year he is on pace to do so right now. I mean, right now he's averaging 84.5 rushing yards per game. He has already scored 4 touchdowns. From what I've been able to gather, it seems like he is what gets this offense going. So I'd be interested to see how Dadeville can key into that. I know based off of my observation with Dadeville's football team, they have a lot of size up front, but with that size is a lot of youth. I mean, you got freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and then a handful of seniors that are making up both your offensive and defensive line. And one of the players that I keyed into when we're looking at Kamani Lindsay is, I think of Markevius Wilkerson. Markevius Wilkerson is a two-way star on both sides of the line. I believe he put up 70 tackles last year for the Tigers. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do and what kind of impact he has on the game. As far as like what Beulah tends to go for, I mean, if you have a running back that's rushing for nearly 100 yards per game, you need to make sure that you plug all running lanes, whether that be through the interior or through the exterior. So, I mean, if we're talking purely on runs between the tackles, I view Markevius Wilkerson as a really big standout in this game. I'm also interested to see how the linebackers are getting involved in this as well. I mean, you got to think if Markevius Wilkerson is plugging up the running lanes on the inside, you know, that's going to force it outside. Are these linebackers going to step up in the run game? Are these players in the secondary going to step up and make some tackles at the line of scrimmage? Because, I mean, that's ultimately what could break you. And if you're running the ball as frequently as Beulah is, I mean, that's a slow churner. I mean, you got to think, you got to get that first. You got to get out to a sizable lead and kind of make a Beulah offense do something that they don't typically do, which is passing. But I mean, looking at the stats as far as passing goes, Beulah's starting quarterback is Hunter Duval. Hunter Duval almost has the exact same stats as Kamani Lindsay. He has 169 passing yards. He has 1 passing touchdown and 2 interceptions. He threw 2 interceptions in last week's game against the Lynette. So I'm interested to see if this is a rebound game for him, because I mean, he threw his 1 touchdown against Abbeville in the season opener, but you know, I'm interested to see how he rebounds from, you know, a not so great performance last week. But I also have my eyes on another quarterback, and that's the opposite. That's Dadeville's quarterback, Davis McKelvey. You know, I wasn't at the game against Hanley, but whenever I was reading the story that was provided to us from the Randolph Leader, the writer keyed into the fact that, I mean, McKelvey was just balling in the first half. I mean, I think we all know pretty well that Davis McKelvey is a really phenomenal athlete. I mean, he plays 3 sports, plays basketball, baseball, and football, plays safety as well as playing quarterback. So, I mean, we know he has the athletic traits. I think it's still whether or not he can figure it out in the passing thing. I think he started off well against Hanley and also showed what he's capable of against Elmer County. I'm interested to see, you know, his progression going into this game. And I think one of the huge benefits as far as this region opener is concerned, I mean, this is Dadeville's home opener. I mean, I think that we can already see that the stands are filling up. I mean, Beulah's got some representation, but I mean, it's mostly Dadeville here right now. And I mean, I can see more people walking up. So, I mean, this home opener is going to bring some juice, bring some energy, and I'm excited to see how Dadeville goes about it with this home crowd. So this is going to be a very interesting game. I mean, obviously for playoff implications, and Dadeville needs to get a win. I mean, they're 0-2. They're not trying to have what happened last season, where I don't think they got their first win until Lee Scott in week 6. They're not trying to have that happen again. And I mean, they've shown that they have what it takes. I mean, you play against a 5A and a 4A school, two good teams that are in higher classifications, and you showed you had the ability. Now it's a bit more even playing field. They're playing against somebody who is going to look like them, that has the same size as them. So I'm interested to see how this goes. The other player that I want to key into on Dadeville's side of things is Corday Jefferson. You know, since I've taken this job, Corday Jefferson was a guy that was one of the guys that just popped out. I mean, he's nearly, if not over 200 tackles on the defensive side of the ball. He is going to play well on the defensive side of the ball. But offensively, this is a new workload for him entirely. He is the lead back. The offense is going to go through him. So I'm interested to see how he performs this day. And one of those guys that's going to try to make sure that he's having a rough day is Beulah's Braden Tapley. Braden Tapley is averaging basically 10 tackles a game. So I'm interested to see how that matchup kind of coincides with one another. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a fun atmosphere. Definitely excited to see what the Dadeville crowd brings. I mean, it's getting a little electric here. I'm waiting for the music to start, or waiting for a band to drown me out, because that's typically what happens in the middle of these shows. But that is 2 of the games. We got a bunch of other games going on right now in the county, or about to happen in the county. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break and preview some of those other games we got going on in the county. Again, want to send a shout out to Dunning Roofing for being a sponsor of Inside the Lines. If you have any roofing needs or anything like that, make sure you get into contact. They have their number provided in the bottom left corner of the screen here. But I'm going to go take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back to preview some of the other games we got going on in the county.
Hi, my name is Andrew McGreer. I'm the owner of Dunning Roofing. We serve an area from Birmingham to Montgomery to Auburn to Opelika and all the surrounding Lake Martin area. Well, we've been in business for 25 years almost, and we've been growing every year since then. Recently, we won an award by GAF, who's the largest manufacturer of shingles in the world, and we've achieved a Master Elite status. That Master Elite status is critical, not only for us as a company. Only 2% of roofers worldwide ever achieve this designation. We got it because we're exceptional. We look forward to helping you.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Just realized I have been on mute that entire time, and that is a tad bit embarrassing. Little embarrassed. I apologize. I've been doing this long enough to where I know better than that. But in the middle, now that I kind of know where I left off, I was talking about the Horseshoe Bend Reeltown game. I was talking about how Horseshoe Bend is going through a difficult stretch in their season right now, where they're facing off against two reigning state champions, Wadley and now Reeltown this week. Things did not look so pretty last week against Wadley, and things did not, things aren't going to get that much better this week. I'll just say it like that. Reeltown returns a lot of the talent from last year's team. Elijah Woods is one of the main ones. Elijah Woods had a 4-touchdown performance last week. He averaged, I think it was 20 yards per carry, if not more than that. I think it was actually 24 and a half. yards per carry last week for Reeltown. And then Horseshoe Bend, I think they're still just trying to figure some things out defensively. There were some missed tackles against Wadley last week, and you just can't have those, especially with a team like Reeltown that's going to come in and kind of want to do the same thing that Wadley was doing. Wadley, obviously has an extremely impressive running back with Jaquez Wilkes, but Reeltown comes in with a two-headed backfield of themselves with Traylon Roberts and Elijah Woods. So it's going to be a difficult game, but the other thing that I was saying as I was muted was that this shouldn't be any indicator as far as what this could ultimately leave for Horseshoe Bend. This is the third week of the season. There's still 7 to 8 weeks left, 7 games left in that fact. You just got to do really well in the region if you want to make sure that you steal another make it to the playoffs again for a consecutive year. Another game that I want to point out is Wetumpka versus Russell County, not Randolph County. My apologies on that one. This is a home game from Russell County. Russell County is 2-0 right now, and they actually won the game last year against Wetumpka. Currently, right now, Russell County is led by their senior quarterback, who has tossed for 434 yards and 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. But I think that this could be a little bit of a quarterback duel, because Charles Skipper for Wetumpka for a sophomore, he has been absolutely balling out for the Wetumpka Indians this season. Right now, he's tossed for 486 yards, which is more than the Russell County quarterback. He has thrown for 5 touchdowns to only 1 interception. And his favorite target on the season right now is former Central Coosa star Caleb Ballard. Caleb Ballard has 6 catches for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns on the year. He's also found a way to get Andrew Voiles in there, John Hudson Wingard involved as well. He is doing a great job spreading the ball around, and I think once you kind of see him play and kind of see the stats that he's putting up, he plays well beyond his age. And I think it's only going to get better as the season goes on. They have another sophomore that's really standing out for them, and that's Jordan Hill. Jordan Hill popped off on week 1, had a little bit of a lower stat total game, but still on the season he's averaging 70 yards per game. He has 140 yards on the ground on the year, and he has 2 touchdowns as well. So this is a young as far as some of those key positions, defensively they have a bunch of senior leadership. Walter Myrick is one of those guys that really stands out, but offensively they have some youth, and they have some things that they just have some young guys. But you look at the inverse and look at Russell County. Russell County has seniors throughout the board, so I'm really interested to see how this younger, and I put air quotes around younger, but I'm interested to see how Wetumpka can overcome, this older team that's bringing out a couple seniors, and especially it's another road. It's a road environment. This is Wetumpka kind of got a taste of what an enemy environment would look like against Beauregard week 1. But this is also Russell County's home opener. They're going to want to put up a big score. I want to check the score from last year, because Russell County played very well in that game. Russell County won 21-17, so it was a bit closer last year. So I'm interested to see if Wetumpka can, kind of flip the switch on that one and kind of get things going in their favor. But other than that, I think we're going to take another commercial break and get into some of the other games that we have going on across the county. This time I will make sure that whenever I come back off of a commercial, that I won't go mute. And we'll preview some of the other games we got going on in the county.
Hi, my name is Andrew McGreer. I'm the owner of Dunning Roofing. We serve an area from Birmingham to Montgomery to Auburn to Opelika and all the surrounding Lake Martin area. Well, we've been in business for 25 years almost, and we've been growing every year since then. Recently, we won an award by GAF, who's the largest manufacturer of shingles in the world, and we've achieved a Master Elite status. That Master Elite status is critical, not only for us as a company. Only 2% of roofers worldwide ever achieve this designation. We got it because we're exceptional. We look forward to helping you.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Don't know if you saw that there, but I really made sure that I was not muted for for this next one. But want to shout out to Dunning Roofing for being a sponsor of Inside the Lines. This is week 3 of Inside the Lines. If you have any roofing needs that you may need, make sure to contact Dunning Roofing. We got their phone number there in the bottom left corner. But one of the other games that I want to preview that we got going on tonight is Benjamin Russell at Calera, which our lovely managing editor Lizzie is going to be at. Benjamin Russell made a statement last week. That's as simple as it was. Clay Central is a really good team in Class 5A. Benjamin Russell knew that. Benjamin Russell came in on a Thursday. They came in some sick black uniforms, I might say so myself. And they came out and made a statement. They really did. They ran the ball effectively. They didn't pass the ball as much, but whenever they did it effectively. Whenever they were on defense, Clay Central could not move the ball. I think it was 62 total yards for Clay Central last Thursday. I mean, just as simple as it is, Benjamin Russell made a statement, and I don't think they plan on, letting that statement waver in any way, shape, or form against Calera. Calera is a team that Benjamin Russell has been on the better end of for, I don't even know, the past 7 years. Benjamin Russell has won 6 out of 7 games against Calera. I don't imagine that changing in any way, shape, or form. The other game that I want to preview is Winterboro at Central Coosa. This is Central Coosa's home opener. I mean, I think a lot of people are having their home openers this week. I know Stanhope Elmore's having theirs. Dadeville right now is having theirs. I think Dadeville's also doing senior night right now, I think. I think that's what somebody told me. But it's a home opener for Central Coosa. They're going against Winterboro. Again, a similar thing to like what I was mentioning about Dadeville. Dadeville played up the first 2 weeks. So did Central Coosa. Central Coosa is now going to be on the other end of things, and they're going to be the higher classification team in this matchup. This is a really, I'm excited to see what this game could turn out to be. Central Coosa was in an absolute shootout last week with Randolph County. I will say I do believe the Randolph County running back did set some sort of record. I believe he scored most of, if not all, of the touchdowns that Randolph County scored last week. But I mean, Central Coosa was just in the thick of it. Corey Thompson had a 4-touchdown performance. Javon Peterson was also involved in the passing and rushing game. So I mean, if Central Coosa can, continue that offensive success and maybe clean up some things on the defensive side of the ball, this is an exciting game for Central Coosa. So I'm interested to see what the final outcome of that one is. We got Austin Elliott out there covering that game. I'm excited to see what notes he can share with me while I'm here at the Dadeville game. Another one we got going on is Evangel Christian at Southern Prep. Southern Prep had to forfeit their game last Friday after some key injuries across the board. Left them in a sour spot. They had enough to go and play, but I mean, they wanted to put player safety first, make sure that, some of the kids that were coming into that game were freshmen, 8th graders, getting their first taste of varsity action against a solid Coosa Valley team. So, they had to do what they had to do, but tonight they come back. They got most of their kids back from injury. Gonna have to speak up a little bit. We got the band walking in. But Evangel This is a team that beat them twice last year, once in the regular season and once in the playoffs. So this is not going to be an easy test for them, but I'm interested to see, you know, how they can perform against Evangel. Another game we got going on is Mumford at Tallahassee. Tallahassee was another one of those teams that made a statement. It was a rough week 1 for them against Montgomery Academy. It wasn't the prettiest in any way, shape, or form, but last week they went against rival Elmer County and just really showed out, dominated on both sides of the ball. I believe Tiny Green had 150 rushing yards. Jade Gordon also had a great game. It was just a solid game for Tallahassee all across the board. And then speaking of the team that they faced in that game last week, Elmer County travels to Carroll Ozark tonight. Elmer County, this is going to be a real test as far as like a rebound goes for Elmer County. I mean, things didn't go exactly according to plan against Tallahassee, but I imagine that, you know, this is where they're going to try to make a statement of their own. Carroll Ozark is a team that went 2-8 last year, and they are 0-2 currently. I feel good about Elmer County. Elmer County won this game last year, I think, by 3-4 scores last year, and I don't imagine that's going to change in any way, shape, or form. Eli Thames is one of the standout offensive players that Elmer County has. Put up 150 last week, and I imagine he's going to try to go for 150, if not more, this week. Interested to see how Gage Davis plays in that game. Played a stellar game in week 1 against Dadeville, where he tossed for 3 touchdowns. Had a little bit of a dip in production against Tallahassee, so I mean, I bet he's going to try to improve some of his stat lines going forward as well. Another game, one of the games that Anna Sophia is at following her Thursday night matchup. She's going to be at Hopeville-Sylacauga. Hopeville. I mean, I was really impressed with what Hopeville was able to do against Shelby County last week. From what I've been able to tell and what I read from Anna Sophia's or from Lizzie's game or at the Hopeville game, they got it going on offense, and I'm excited to see if they can continue that going. So this is a team that they beat, believe, by 20 points last year. So I'm interested to see if they can continue that offensive success, maybe get some defensive success as well. I remember it was Tyler Hackett had 17 tackles in week 1. I'm interested to see if he can kind of replicate that success. And then we got another game going on tonight, which is Edgewood at Lakeside. Edgewood is still searching for that first win in the Joe Bruton era. From what I've been able to, from what Austin told me, he was at the game last week. You know, they have the talent, they have the skill set to do it. It's just they still got a little bit of things that they got to figure out as far as, you know, getting the ball into a playmaker's hand and putting up some points. They played really well last week, so I imagine that they're going to try to do some magic this week. But other than that, I think we've previewed every game that we have on the schedule this week. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in to week 3 of Inside the Lines. Again, want to give a shout out to Dunning Roofing for being a sponsor of Inside the Lines Live. If you have any roofing needs or need anything from them, make sure to call their number. But other than that, let's get on to week 3. I'm excited for some football. I will be back to y'all next week, hopefully this time with a guest host. I imagine you're tired of hearing my voice, so we need to get some more voices in here. But other than that, I think that's everything that I have for y'all. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. And if you got a game you want to get to, you better start heading over there now. Thank you guys. Bye.